What's good, everybody? DJ Son, and with news of the Metal Gear Remake swirling, with rumors, with whispers swirling around the gaming community about a new Metal Gear Remake, I figured I would write down or present to y'all 10 things that a Metal Gear Solid Remake needs to be great, to be creative, to be all the above, to be the trifecta, and bring Metal Gear Solid back to glory. Isha, hallelujah. Anyways. So before I get into my topics, be sure to like the video if you like the topics that I present to y'all, and also subscribe for more Metal Gear Solid content. But without further ado, we gonna dive into number one. So number one will be a graphics overhaul. So as we all know, with the Metal Gear Solid 1, it was on the original PlayStation, right? It had the bird's eye view, you know, it had pixelated heads moving, all that jazz. And with Metal Gear Solid 4, we saw a kinda, well, not even kinda, we saw a touched up Shadow Moses, but it was already dead at that point. So it was cool returning to the place, but also it would have been nice to see Shadow Moses in its glory. How they can fix this is with a graphics overhaul in the Fox engine. Now we know how good Afghanistan looked in Metal Gear Solid 5, right? We know how good Africa looked in Metal Gear Solid 5. Imagine Shadow Moses, Genome Soldiers, Gray Fox, the hallway scene, mind you, Liquid Snake, Vulcan Raven, the Sniper Wolf battle, all of that in a Metal Gear Solid 5 sandbox with the graphics and everything. Y'all smiling, ain't you? That would be crazy to see in a Metal Gear remake. So in order to be great, that would be my number one pick. The story is already great in the game, so with this graphics overhaul, that's the first thing they need to do in order for it to be a remake. Now, number two will be flashbacks with narratives given to the player, right? There's a lot of references in Metal Gear Solid 1 to what Big Boss did. Like, it may have been Snake Eater, it may have been just his whole career as a whole. But they talk about Big Boss a lot in Metal Gear Solid 1 for what I remember. So, in order to give the average person that does not know the story, like a full background, I think whenever stuff is brought up from previous games, or previous games chronologically, but future games released here in real life, but whenever those narratives are brought up in the game, I feel like they should have flashbacks, if that makes sense, of what it is exactly they're talking about. Now that they have the actual cutscenes from the game, like Snake Eater, you could even have like some portable op stuff in there if they want to remake it. If they relate that, you know, Gray Fox being null, that whole type of thing, you can relate back to that, and the player would know more about what you're talking about rather than have to Google or wiki some whatever happened in the game. So I believe more flashes back that we actually see on screen will provide a better story to the player. So that would be a little tidbit that they could add in to make it good as well. Number three would be additional scenes with Liquid and Psycho Mantis, and I would really throw Detour Octopus in there too. So now that we saw Psycho Mantis in Metal Gear Solid 5, right, and namely him and Liquid at the end of the game, I feel like that, I believe that was in one of the cutscenes that didn't make it to the game, or they didn't finish or something like that, where Big Boss fights Sahelanthropus and Psycho Mantis and Liquid are there. But now that we saw that they have some type of dynamic that stems further back from them being grown, they were actually kids, I feel like more interactions with Liquid and Psycho Mantis in the remake would be kind of dope. And also being able to see what Decoy Octopus did, like as the DARPA chief, or how he became the DARPA chief, or like his abilities taking fruit, whatever it is you want to call it. Something that gives us a little bit more, like, we don't need much from it, but something that gives us just a little bit more with those three will be dope. Number four will be more backstory with bosses. So namely, you know how when you beat Sniper Wolf and she explains that Big Boss came and saved her, they could do something like that with all of Foxhound, actually, because Big Boss led Foxhound at one point, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know if Big Boss had like an actual interaction with all of these Foxhound characters, but if they were able to have it tie in to him some sort of way, or just give us more backstory from the bosses when you beat them, like when Psycho Mantis is talking about his father, have that be a flashback in a whole cutscene, Like, you know what I'm saying? Adding more to that in that aspect, again, and that goes hand in hand with the Liquid Snake and Psycho Mantis thing. Just seeing more story with the bosses will be a great thing to add. It would just give it more oomph, so it's not really a remaster, it's a full remake, you know? It's like people are experiencing new things in this game for the first time. And I just like to be mind blown, especially when it comes to this series. Like I want like a mouth open moment, pause, but when things happen in this game. So I don't know, that's just me. So more story with the bosses. Go ahead and add that in. So number 5 would be expanding more gameplay mechanics and more so stealth in the Fox engine. You ever been playing Metal Gear Solid 1 in the, we talk about the old school and again, but you ever been playing that and there's a blue cone right on the map, enemy walks past, but you crouch down and you're right in front of them, but you're not in the blue cone's field of view, so you kind of be able to sneak, you can kind of cheese the game, right? Because it's a little bit old. If they redid that so people's line of sight is like it is in Metal Gear Solid 5, whereas like they actually have real eyes, I don't know any other way to put that, but real eyes, like they have real lines of view, sights of view, there's no blue cones, like there's none of that. I feel like that would be a lot better than just the blue cone thing. I feel like that would allow you to be a little more stealthy than the original game would, and the original game does good with stealth, but for its time. So if they did that, put that type of gameplay in Metal Gear Solid 1, that will add to the remake value as well. Number 6, over the shoulder camera and top down views for the camera. So with this game, right, they should make it so that you're able to have the over the shoulder view like Metal Gear Solid 5, or you could switch the camera to the bird's eye view like it was in the original games. And I feel like that would hit a nostalgia point, and that would also not really terrorize new players that aren't really used to that type of thing and that played like Metal Gear Solid 5 and that's the only one they played in the series. Because let me remind y'all, there are those people out there. It doesn't hinder the new player, and it also adds a nostalgic value to the player that already played the game. So number 7 will be Gray Fox as a playable character. Like, I actually touched a little bit on this in my last Cinder Cut video for Metal Gear, but having Gray Fox as a playable character in Metal Gear Solid 1 will be crazy. You're actually, just again, I'm gonna make another Devil May Cry reference. You're actually going between Snake and Gray Fox. Gray Fox sneaking through Shadow Moses is not even sneaking, because he don't need to sneak. He over there just cutting people arms and legs off left and right, slice, dicing them up like they a piece of fruit. He don't need to sneak for what? So you get to sneak as Snake, right? But you can also take a more aggressive approach as Gray Fox. Kinda like in Devil May Cry when you switch between Nero and Dante. Same thing. Same ideals, they're going through the same stages. You're just, Gray Fox has different interactions than Snake would have when he's sneaking around. If they did that, that would be crazy. The next one is redesigned boss battles. So when you're playing Sniper Wolf, when you're versus Sniper Wolf, it seems like in the older games, and this is not faulting it, because again, we're talking about a dated game here, there's not really much you can do in the arena. Like if you go up too close or something like that, like you get sniped or she hits you, or I forget exactly how it goes, but you can't get in close with her. Now what if they made that arena a Metal Gear Solid 5-esque arena? Like somehow how you fought Quiet, right? But make it so that you can actually get in close too. It can actually be what the Quiet boss battle was supposed to be, because that boss battle in Metal Gear Solid 5 was who Jesus. But that's I'm gonna get off topic. But anyways, having a bigger arena like that and more stuff for you to do, like maybe more interactions in those boss battles, like have it go differently than the original boss battles will be nice. They don't really have to touch it, but if they really redesign the boss battle, that would give a different flavor to when you actually jump into the game again. They also want to avoid what Twin Snakes did, and we know what Twin Snakes did, but for y'all that don't know, let me refresh your memory. This man Snake was jumping back on missiles like he was Dante. He was jumping out the way, avoiding missiles, and it was just But didn't he like flip over bullets or something like that at that point? Something crazy happened to where they made this man Captain America. Like I get he's a man that was made in like a tube, but come on now, he not the Winter Soldier. Can we calm this down a little bit? So they need to not make the same mistakes that Twin Snakes did when it comes to just leave Solid and Liquid alone. Just leave them how they are. All right, don't be messing with the character. Don't be messing with how they interact. Don't be messing with any of that. Bring them back how they were in the original game. I cannot stress this enough. And that also brings me to my last point. They need to bring back David Hayter. Metal Gear Solid 5 did not need Kiefer Sutherland at all. It didn't need him. I don't know why they felt the need to go get this man, especially when he was doing multiple projects and he couldn't be there for most of the time they was filming the game. Why? Who was in charge of that casting? Who was in charge of hiring Kiefer Sutherland to voice Big Boss? I need to know. The streets need to know. But you need to, if they don't bring, they need to not just bring David Hayter back, but they need to bring all of the cast back if they can. Like bring most of it, if not all of it, back. Keep the game original at that point. If there's new lines that need to be recorded, you put those new lines in. You already have the lines from the previous game, so you could just throw them in there. But if you need another line recorded, you better not have nobody mimic them players. You better not have nobody mimic them. Okay? We bringing the whole set back. We bringing the whole cast back, and we gonna do it big. Konami, I just outlined what y'all need to do to make this game great. I just gave y'all the blueprint. I don't need to be paid. I don't need to be compensated, baby. I just want the game. I just want you to give me the game. But with that, I'm gonna wrap the video up, y'all. Let me know what y'all think about these things I outlined, and what would you put into a Metal Gear Solid remake? What do you think it needs in order to be great, if you need to touch it at all? But that's it for me today, y'all. I'll catch y'all in the next video. Remake, baby. Yeah.